Now, what do I mean when I say replenishing? Well, God gives you so much material to use, right? Right. Well, what happens when you use it all up, right? And got nothing left to use. Well, then what does it do? Replenish it, right? Or make it new again, right? Uh, Now, you really have to do a lot of damage, though, to the planet, right? For it to have to do that, right? Alright. It still basically gave you enough for a few thousand years, you think? Even if you are good and evil to each other, right? Say 10 or 20,000 years at least? Uh, Now, how short do you cut a day anyway? I know, 20,000 years, 10,000 years, 5,000 years in half. If to you, man thinks a day is 1,000 years to begin with, and usually he's lying. And what he means is, he heard people in the past lived 8,000 years, right? He don't quite believe that either, so he dropped it to 1,000, right? Well, you don't know that either, right? You don't know how long they lived before in the sixth day, right? How long was that exactly, right? You don't know. You don't know. How long were we in paradise? I don't know. I don't know. But it's the whole of the sixth day, however long that is, right? And yet we have time to name all the animals all over the planet, I guess, right? Did it say he named some of the animals or all the animals on the planet, right? But two by two, probably two, right? Unless it's a single organism like an earthworm or, say a snail. It don't need a partner all the time, all the time. To mate with itself, right? Now, if God's seen the things that are made Christians, and there are hermaphrodites, right? And Adam was made two from one, could he not be a hermaphrodite himself? Possibly. Another problem you have is you can see the things God made, right? Some creatures are both, right? They're more earthworms, right? Or snails, which are invertebrates, by the way, right? But if I make you as the head, right? The first of the human beings, right? And then I make you two, right? Aren't you in the same body? Right. If I have to take parts of you to get her out of you, right? She's partially in you, 50-50, right? Now, after that, like I said, who knows what they did at Eden for however long it was, right? But you got to understand, whatever Moses is telling you, he's hearing things too in his day, right? Religious things too, right? Whatever he's telling you, he's listening to the Jews telling you their opinion. He's listening to the Egyptians telling you their opinion, right? And whoever he is introduced to around the region until he kills the Egyptian himself and then flees to Midian. And he's there for 40 years too, so he's with Egypt for 40 years. Ain't that a long time? Ain't that a long time? And they let him stay, right? He don't get into no trouble until he sees the Egyptian trying to kill the Hebrew slaves, right? And then he gets involved with it, right? And then he gets in trouble for that and he flees to Midian, right? And then he's there for 40 years and then he comes back around 80, right? Leaves Israel out of Egypt into the wilderness for 40 years because they're stubborn and don't want to simply go into the land God gave them, right? It could be both them and God, you know what I mean? So they're afraid to go in the way too because of the report the spies give them, right? They see Nephilim in there, giants, right? Throughout the land, right? Only two gave a good report that they could take the land, right? So 2 out of 10 gave a good report, right? The rest of them give an ambiguous report. Now, Jesus still is viewed by them as being more than a man, though, right? He can even control the weather, they think, right? Or he's calm until it comes out, right? See, you can't do nothing about a storm until it passes. Right? And then when it's about ready to pass, you can probably kind of tell that yourself. If you've been in a few storms, right? You know they all pass, right? Now, like with Jonah, all right, believe it or not, right? They're blaming each other, right, for the storm, right? Their gods are punishing them, right, which is superstition, for someone being on the ship. And Jonah thinks it's him. But that's still superstition. That's still superstition. Yet, coincidentally, when they throw him off the ship, that's when the storm ends, right? But why is that? Well, every storm has the beginning, right? And an end, even a hurricane, right? And the direction it goes in according to the way the wind blows, right? Listen to the wind blow! Like, think what Matt says. Watch the sunshine. Whatever. Playing in the shadows, damn truth, damn your lies. Y'all want to do that too, don't you? Right. You want to damn the truth and the lies, right? When you do that, you're condemning yourself and others, right? And you're assuring you're going to die with Satan, right? Who stayed dead, right? When he condemned Adam and Eve for the same sin he taught them to do, right? They didn't really know how to do everything the devil taught them either, right? Until he showed them they could do that too, right? What kind of sex do you think it was, though, he showed them to that we're still doing now that might be considered good and evil still? Butt sex, butt sex. But he did it with Eve, then showed Adam butt sex, and then it was Adam's turn. And that's when they knew they were naked, right? Uh-huh. Well, I'm covering my mouth because I ate a piece of fruit now. Right. Not because I ate the fruit of the body of Satan, which comes out his fetus like my fruit comes out my fetus to impregnate my wife, right? Uh-oh, someone lied there. And I think it was Adam, right? Now, if I tell you there's a tree, okay, something you're not supposed to do, if one of these trees in here is killing you, Adam's act like he don't even know which tree it is, right? Because Eve asked him a question, right? And when she answers the serpent, even though she's told not to eat of the tree herself, the same way Adam was told by God, right? She tells the serpent what Adam told her last, right? Not what he told her first, right? Think about it, right? Now, Eve, at some point, is being wiser than Adam because she asked him a question that Adam should have asked the one telling him there's a tree in here not to eat of. She's smart enough to ask him, where's the tree? Which one is it, right? It's the only way the answer she gives to the serpent makes sense, right? Someone told her the location of the tree was in the middle of the trees of the garden. Uh-oh. But who would do that? See, the problem with that answer is the tree in the middle of the garden is the tree of life, right? You don't know where the tree of the not a good deal is. If you're saying it's the tree in the middle of the garden, which is the tree of life, right? You still are misleading your wife into thinking it's the tree in the middle of the garden she's not eating of, right? Well, how do you determine that, right? Was the fig tree near the middle of the garden? Two? I don't know. But it's one way to guess, right? It's in the center of the story, too. So, it's part of what leaves they use to make their aprons out of, to cover their lower extremities. Right. Now, I don't put an apron here unless I'm a real messy eater, right? I don't cover my mouth if I'm eating something, right? Either do I? No. No. I just eat it, right? If I'm eating a piece of fruit from a fruit tree, no. I damn sure ain't gonna make no apron, which usually is down here, right? Or apron down here, if I'm sitting with my mouth. But if I'm sitting with my genitals and I did something different with this bean than I did with even my wife, and I know I shouldn't have done it with it, I knew good and evil by it, right? And realized that was what I wasn't supposed to do, but too late, right? Then the tree of life comes into the picture again, speaking to Adam again, right? We think as Christians that was Jesus, both ways. And the tree of knowledge of good and evil then would be who Christians? Satan himself. Right? He was in Eden, the garden of God, silly. You're denying that. You're not putting him physically in Eden. Right? You're lying to your church if you don't. Right? You're misleading them. Right? Into hell. You're letting them think Satan wasn't even in there when he was. The Bible says it twice in Ezekiel, right? I think Isaiah says it too, right? Right. Two prophets say he was in Eden, the garden of God, right? If so, right, then you're lying when you say he was not in Eden with the tree of life. See, that makes him the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He brought us two types of sex, right? In Eden, right? Now, is the sex the problem, though? Not if you're in a loving, committed relationship, right? God didn't say you couldn't do that kind of sex. He just showed them reproductive sex, right? First. Which is male and female. But if Satan did it with both Adam and Eve, I know. Meaning, using butt sex with Eve first, right? And straight sex, right? And then teaching Adam how to do his two holes, right? He had two holes too, right? A top and a bottom, right? Depending on the position he got Adam to do him in, right? And then when it was Adam's turn, he only has one hole, right? If you know what I mean, metaphorically, right? The butthole. Well, there's only one hole you can have sex with in Eden that's different. That would make you think it was a sin to do it after you did it. And I don't think it's your wife's vagina, right? In Eden. I think it's the other hole. And Satan would have both holes, right? Two holes. But like the devil does, he offers you two holes for the price of your one hole. But when you give him your one hole, you wish you never did, right? So that's the thing about the devil. Even if he offers you a 2 for 1 sale. Don't take the deal. Don't take the deal. Never take the deal. Never take the deal. Because he will. And he don't do it in love. He does it to hurt you. He does it to make money off of you sometimes too, right? And that's abuse of power when he does that. You know? It's also sexual harassment in the workforce. You can't do that, right? You can't make someone who's working for you have sex with you, right? That's illegal. That's illegal too. And if you are, you're not doing your job. You're instead making it something sexual, right? Even if a person tells you no and forgives you, the no is because he don't want to do it with you. The forgiveness is because you got to forgive all sins, right? And he knows that, right? It's not consensual sex because he forgives you. He just knows he can't stop the sex because he's in the flesh with you, right? Like Jesus could have been raped too, but we don't know because they didn't say so, right? But two women, I know, at least I know, were raped in the Bible. One in Judges, I know. And one was David's own daughter, right? Her name was Tamar. Or Tamar. Like, Judah's son's wife, who had sex and married one man, right? The second brother didn't finish the job, right? So he died shortly after that, right? And the youngest son was supposed to then raise up seed to Tamar. Well, Jacob was feeling horny one day, found this harlot, who was really Tamar in disguise, right? Slept with her, good man he was, and impregnated her. Then got pissed off at her for being pregnant. Like he wanted her to marry his son, youngest son, anyway. Talk about hypocrisy there. But then she showed him the staff, which was the price for sleeping with her, which he gave her himself. And then she said, "Oh, well, she's more righteous than me." And she had to play the harlot to do that. Now, even Samson, though, and Hosea was with the harlot. All the harlot is a woman who was done wrong, who might have to go into the sex trade industry to make some money. That don't make her an evil woman, though. Necessarily. Like I told you before, right? Evil is, though, as evil does. Same as good is as good does, right? If she's trying to provide for her family, and that's an easy way to make money, right? You understand, right? If you're a mother, right? To a child, even if the daddy in the picture, or he left her early, or, again, she just needs money for college, or she needs money for this or that, right? And again, right? Some of this is from SVU and some of this ain't, right? Like, for instance, this one girl did porn, right? And in the porn, she pretended like the actor was raping her, but then people saw the porn and really tried to rape her, who were going out to her college because she was doing it for college, right? To make money for college, right? You don't have the right to do that to her, though, because you see it in a movie, right? Do you understand that? She ain't doing that for you or even the guy who did it to her, but they have an agreement that it's only for money, right? That's no different than what Jacob did, I'm sorry, not just Jacob, but Judah did, J and J, I'm sorry, Yehuda did, and Yahuwah, you see why I do that, Yehuda did, with Tamar, his own son's wife, who he was supposed to let the younger son and make the younger son marry when he got of age, right? But she knew that would be a while, and then he was of age, and then he still wouldn't do it. Right. Because both sons died, and he's blaming her for that dick, right? When they knew better, too, right? See, it's the blame game there. He's condemning her for his sons not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and she was. So she had to trick him into sleeping with her, because he's still a horny old man. I know how he feels. I'm a horny old man myself. You get lonely, I'm truly lonely. I got nobody to call out. I'm playing myself, though. I'm home alone, looking for a girlfriend, and yet you want to keep me alone, it seems. Well, but why did Molly come by it, right? And have sex with me too, right? That's still someone on YouTube who saw me on YouTube and actually came here, right? That shows me I'm real enough. You can find me if you want to, right? Unless you're trying to hide me from the world. You didn't name something after me or before me, right? That has my name, did you? And you're not putting it in my name, are you? Right? Because see, a machine don't have a name, right? By the way. No, I don't. A machine is a machine. It can't own anything. It's not even a human being. It's not even a human being. You're making it. Now, can a machine improve your sound? Yeah, but you gotta edit it into your performance to do that. I don't. If I can match your machine, though, because you're trying to make it sound human, and you can't, one of us can really sing with it, and one of us is pretending to, by the way. And one will be illegally, fraudulently doing it, and one wouldn't. That's all I can say about it, right? I'm not trying to do nothing about it either. Oh, she's going to the starry door. I'm sorry, I had to show that. That was Rodrigo. Anyway. At least that's what she calls herself as her nom de plume. I don't know anything more either. That's what she says. It's her name. So what I'm saying, though, is you can do that. But that's editing, not really singing, right? By the way. But if educational purposes, and I can sing with the machine and you can't, I can teach you how to do that. Yes, you can. Legally. And you can't do nothing about it. Bye.